What is up, everyone? Renfail here, and we're back for another Baldur's Gate 3 video. And today I want to talk a little bit about some of the differences between early access and live that we've seen so far, because they are subtle. Some of them are subtle, some of them are a little more obvious, but obviously, using those two words in conjunction, there is a lot more to see and do here, and there's a lot of stuff they kept behind closed doors for those of us who had been playing early access waiting for launch. It's a pretty sweet reveal, I think, in some areas where we've gotten, at least I've seen some really unique cutscenes with my companions, and then on top of that, there's just some new UI elements and some other stuff, which is a lot of fun to dig into. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the video. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Live streams daily at 11 a.m. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get to it. So I think one of the easiest things to see right away is the fact that there are a whole slew of new spells available. As an example, here on my Druid, Ice Knife was not part of early access, and so being able to have that at my disposal essentially from level 1 has been really great in terms of having an additional ranged spell at my disposal for my Druid. But across the board, you know, having new spells for pretty much everybody around the table means that there's a lot of new abilities that we didn't get a chance to test in early access, so that's cool. There's also obviously the Illicit Powers, which you can dive into here. I have not, this is a whole area of the game that I have not particularly explored quite yet, but this is available. I've been collecting some of the Illithid tadpoles along in my journeys, so this is all new. We didn't have that, so I can, I collect these tadpoles as you go, and I can use these tadpoles to evolve parts of my mind. So I'll be digging into that a little bit later in a fuller episode, so if you want to see that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss that when it goes live. But that's new as well. We have a lot more in terms of conversation options. You'll also notice that my character is wearing camp clothing now, and so we can come over here and look at different characters, and like this is Shadowheart's camp gear. If we actually select her, maybe bring her over here, that's her camp gear. We've got Gale, that's his camp gear, and then Lae'zel, and this is her camp gear. And we can, of course, we can get different camp gear for them. Matter of fact, let me look if she's got on her inventory right now. Yeah, so like I could choose to equip this, and it changes. That's the other outfit, which I don't like. I mean, they're a little ridiculous in terms of the revealing nature, I think. To some degree, but hey, if that's what people want to wear in the wilderness, that's up to them. I will not judge, but we're going to switch back to this one instead, because I actually like that one. So those are new. Obviously the camp layout is quite a lot more fleshed out. A lot of people have asked about content, and they did tell us that, you know, expect about 30% new in terms of content. I would say that that feels fairly accurate. You know, it's hard to have an exact moment when I can say that's new when I'm sitting here recording a video, but some things that pop off the top of my head and I remember is, like, I mentioned this in a previous video, meeting the true souls with the guy outside the Owlbear cave. That was a completely new everything that I'd seen there. The way the tadpoles come out of the body, that's new. All this tadpole stuff is new. The Guardian, didn't even call a Guardian, it was just, you know, what do you dream of in early access? That person is now called a Guardian, and they have a whole sort of like, I would argue that it feels like it's some sort of a higher power Marvel super soldier type character, if it's truthful, who is trying to get you to leverage the power of the Illithid Mind Flayer tadpoles to, you know, be able to face what's to come, and whether or not that's the person's to be believed or not, I don't know. But that's all new. Most of what I've seen so far in Act 1 has been fairly similar to what I saw during early access with the, you know, there are more fleshed out conversations now, and also some completely new cutscenes that I've never seen. Excuse me. Karlach being completely new is amazing. Will's rewrite is really interesting, so seeing the banter between those characters has been a lot of fun. So as far as storyline stuff, it's mostly, I would say, it's peppered with enough new stuff that when you're going through, you're sort of nodding your head going, okay, that's a new line, that's a new animation sequence, that's a cutscene I hadn't seen before. Oh, that's a little bit more. And they've rearranged a few things so that cutscenes happen at different places than they did in early access. So as far as story and content goes, I'd say that 30% number that they talked about is definitely feels like that, so that's pretty good. And then for me, I think the biggest thing for me that I've loved is the ability to seamlessly switch between mouse and keyboard and controller. So I'm still in mouse and keyboard mode right now. But the coolest thing about the way they do this is it's not just a switch, it also switches the UI. So the moment I hit a button on my controller, it takes about 1 second to switch over. And the reason it takes about 1 second to switch is because of the UI switch that's happening. And once you're in this mode, I'm telling you what, like the movement here is just so smooth, and the camera controls, because it literally just follows the character, which feels very much like a traditional RPG in terms of the way it's being played. And then from here, all these different controls are at your fingertips. I've done an episode on the controller, my initial reactions to it. I'm going to do a deeper, more advanced guide later on sort of controller plus keyboard and mouse and how to sort of blend those two together, because I do play like about 85-90% controller and about 10 to 15% mouse and keyboard, and there are different things that they're both really good at. By the way, this owlbear pet is so cute. Look at that, guys. Like, look at it. Just look at it. It's just so cute. And it's mine, all mine. I'm gonna love it and hug it and squeeze it forever. What's up, everybody? Quick commercial break here to give it a shout out to our guild champions, who are the highest tier memberships here on YouTube: Ancient Entity, Assassin Gamer 94, Bubbaloni Rising, Crazy's Relative, Mujin, and Remedy. Thanks so much for the highest tier membership, and thanks to all of the members who support the channel, because you keep me doing this full time. You too can become a supporter if you're new here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Join as a member. There's 3 different tiers. We do lots of special stuff: private polls, private videos. You get a shout out if you're the highest tier membership, but you can also do one-off donations in the form of super chats on any live stream or premiere you see, and of course super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Whatever you can contribute, it's great. Keeps me on the air full time, keeps the cats fed, keeps the homestead running. Anyway, back to the video, everybody. So being able to switch between the controller and the mouse and keyboard has been absolutely invaluable. There's a lot of new stuff here for like, if you wanted to area loot something, you could go over here and hold down the A button, and it'll pick up everything within that circle, and then unclick and go from there. I've actually got there's a video coming out about this later on today, which is a quick tips video, so make sure you keep an eye out for that, because I'm going to go into this a little bit more detail about the auto loot. So yeah, there's a lot more in terms of quality of life. There's quite a few more quality of life features. There's definitely more content. Overall, the polish, I would say I saw, I'm running a 1080 with 32 gigs of RAM. It's an older rig. But I've got it playing on ultra mode. That's the recommended specs, and I saw probably a 25 to 30 FPS increase across the board moving from the early access to this. And it's definitely, I can definitely tell you that my fans are going off in my laptop. It's like 6 or 7 years old, my laptop, so this is the first game where it started to feel its age, but it still runs it pretty darn good, although there are some occasional hiccups with like animations and cutscenes and stuff. But like I said, to go back, you just move the mouse or click a mouse button, and boom, it goes back to mouse and keyboard mode. And then there's so much here in terms of, we got a brand new UI, we got a brand new character creation process. There's all the ways they've changed subtly, like the race and class differences and everything else. They've cleaned up the UI quite a bit. And then you can see all of your actions and things here now. Everything's on this one tab. Alchemy, which I haven't even touched yet. Like, I've been collecting things, and I can obviously make some stuff now, like I could make this, but I haven't dug into alchemy at all. I've just been collecting things as they go along in the game, and eventually I'm going to dive into this system as well, but this is all new. So overall, there are a lot of subtle differences between early access and the live game. I'm sure there are more as I get deeper into it. I just got into the Underdark with my stream character on Sunday, and I'm still catching up with my sorcerer character. But I just wanted to hop on really quick and show you guys a little bit of some of the differences between early access and live. And for those of you who played early access, I will say it was genuinely a pleasure to be able to be a part of that evolution, because I've got streams from when this game first entered early access that you can go back and watch when I did my first rogue playthrough. And visually, I mean, just everything, the game progressed so much in terms of polish and mechanics, and it was really cool to be a part of that and to see the game really take on the final look that we have today, which is really, really cool. So there you have it, everyone. That is my quick guide between the differences between early access and launch. I'd love to hear if you've come across anything I didn't mention in this video, so drop those down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Join as a member to support, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Until then, safe gaming, everyone.